What is up, DC fans, and welcome back to my channel. We are back with another weekly Titans review. Today is episode 2, and this episode is about Hawk and Dove. If you guys missed last week's episode review, please go and check that out. It's on my channel. I will put up a playlist on my channel just for Titans episodes reviews. And I'm currently right in the middle of binging Daredevil on Netflix, so we're going to get through this review. If you guys don't know how my reviews work, usually I like to talk about the good, the bad, and then give you my score. But what I did last week, I liked it a lot, and I'm going to do it again. We're just going to go through the episode, and I am issuing my spoiler warning right now. This is for people who have watched the episode, or for people who just don't really care about spoilers, but there are spoilers in this episode. Just telling you right now, I'm not talking spoilers in the beginning, but when I get to it, I'll let you guys know. Alright, so Titans episode 2. So a little recap for episode 1. I liked parts of episode 1. I didn't think it really worked as a whole, but I was on board for seeing what episode 2 had in store, and I liked the first one enough to watch the second one, so that's something. But I have to say, episode 2, it's genuinely a solid episode. It really got me excited for what's to come in this series. There are a lot of twists, there are a lot of turns. I like the story better. I like the way that the episode flowed a little bit better. The pacing was good. Right now, I'm really on board for Titans. And at this point, I've kind of accepted the fact that it's just a darker Elseworlds take on Titans. It's not the Teen Titans that we grew up with, whether it's the animated series or even the comics. This show is taking a completely different spin on these characters. And at first, I was just like, oh, I'm a little hesitant, especially when I saw the trailer. But now, I'm kind of on board. And at this point, I'm invested enough, especially in Robin and Raven, to want to see what happens next with their characters. We'll get to the other ones a little bit later in the season, I'm sure, but right now they've done a good job of getting me on board for this story, and then they bring in two really solid characters in Hawk and Dove. I really liked, first of all, their chemistry. I liked the costumes. I think the costumes look fantastic. Sure, they're a little cheesy, but they're super comic accurate. They get called out for being cheesy in the episode, and I just love the way that it flowed when they're fighting, and some of the fighting scenes in this show. So one thing that I don't like, and then one thing that I do like. The thing that I don't like is that you can't really see what's going on when they are fighting. Two giant action scenes in this episode, they're filmed in the dark, and not just the dark, but there's like hardly any lighting, and you can barely see what's going on. But what you can see that is going on, the fight choreography, the stunts, all of those things, it's handled super well. I really like the fights. I like the action. I like Robin coming in and getting in on the action with Hawk and Dove. I just thought this episode was strong in that regard. I felt like the dialogue in this episode was an improvement. The character development, we got more, and the episode just felt like it flowed. The first one, it felt a little bit choppy because we're moving around from story to story to story, but in this one, you kind of have one main story and two minor stories, but it flows super well, and I really like the pacing of the episode. But Austin, how did the episode make you feel while you were watching it? Well, now's when we get into spoilers. Start out, we get a little bit from Hawk and Dove. I really like that. And then we get a little bit more from Hawk and Dove. You know what I'm saying? Because you know what I'm saying? Turn away, kids. And then Robin comes in, you start to figure out that relationship with him and Dove. There is a history, there's a backstory there, and we find out a little bit later in the episode when Raven does that whole thing that's like explaining what's going on. I don't think that exposition dump was needed because at that point I knew there was some kind of history there and we could have figured it out, but it just kind of spelled it out. Hey, here's what happened, and here is why Hawk is getting jealous. So I like that dynamic. Then you throw Raven in the mix. They're trying to figure out what in the world are we going to do with this girl, so that is probably the most interesting thing about this episode. And on top of that, you have the nuclear family coming in. They add another layer to this story. Now, there are definitely some flaws within this episode. There are some editing mistakes that I noticed, and some of the fight choreography, while it is really good, the physics, I don't know if the physics made a lot of sense. Yeah, the really bad CGI Raven on the roof at the end. I get it, it's a television show budget, but if it's not gonna be good, why even put it in there? But back to the things that I did like, what about that appearance from Alfred in the episode? He's on the phone, he's like, yes, what is it, sir? I don't know what it is, I really like Alfred. Apparently DC likes him too. He's getting his own television show, if you didn't hear about that. But yeah, I thought that was a cool little Easter egg. He actually calls him again later on in the episode. And then what's up with Raven watching Game of Thrones? She's a little young for that, as they say in the episode. If you guys notice that the guy who plays Robin sounds and even kind of looks like Grant Gustin from The Flash, I see that similarity, but more prevalently, I hear the similarity when he talks. I'm like, that's Grant Gustin. Nope, it's not Grant Gustin. I think they're both solid actors, and I actually got more character development out of Robin in this episode. I still have some reservations about his character, because if you look at the episode, He's not the best guy because he was going to leave Raven behind. You find that out at the end, and that was kind of, it hurt me a little bit, hurt my heart. And then the big thing at the end, the nuclear family comes in, throws Dove off the roof. They also, it looked like they really hurt Hawk bad, but he gets up, Robin gets up, they both go out there, he's holding her, she's laying on the ground. Now I know the actress was a major part of the promotional tour, and that may have been a swerve, but I can't help but to think she is somehow still alive. But how is she still alive? Because she flew off the roof and she landed really hard on the ground, and that had to be a far drop. And if she is dead, then that's really disappointing because I really liked her character. I like her as an actress. I like her chemistry with Hawk and Robin. I was hoping to see where that would go later on. And if she is dead, then we're not going to see that. But I can't help but to think, something in the back of my mind, Dove is not dead. Hashtag Dove is not dead. But overall, still not a perfect episode. They are slowly getting there, but it's definitely a better episode than the first one. I'm enjoying Titans so far, more than I thought I would. I still don't think it's like the best show I've seen all year, but it's solid enough for me to keep watching and continue to review. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Did you like Titans Episode 2? Are you excited for Episode 3? Maybe. Well, we need to explore a little bit more from Starfire, and I want some Beast Boy, man. We have to wait till Episode 3 for Beast, but come on. Daredevil Season 3 review coming out tomorrow. That is Saturday morning. Be on the lookout. I will catch you guys later.